This episode of The Mimic's Veil is sponsored by Taste Invader Tea. Treat yourself to 15% off an order of daring and delicious tea at tasteinvader.co.uk using code TMV. And in The Mimic's Veil tonight, we talk about dating everything, the 100 Line Last Defence Academy, and Ruffy and the Riverside.
Today's the day we get a brand new, almost mascot platformer in our lives. I think that's almost a good way to describe our Ruffy. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is Ruffy in the Riverside. I'm not even sure if it is a platformer. It's like a puzzle. It's almost like a puzzle platformer type thing, but it's kind of key thing to it though. That's where it differentiates itself from everything else. Is you copy and paste things within the world to like solve the puzzles. So for example, I think one of the first things it gets you to do is you can there's a tree with leaves on it, and you use the R button or R1 or whatever when you're bending the console play, but the top shoulder button to copy that, and then you use the bottom shoulder button to paste it onto things. So you copy the leaves onto a waterfall, turns into a vine, and you can climb up the vine. So it's using these different textures and stuff to then solve the puzzles. Or if you need to get across water, there might be some baits or something in the water, and you can change them to a type of wood that floats, and then the float so you can jump on them to kind of jump across to get from A to B. So at its heart, it's a puzzle platformer. And you are Ruffy, and you are the chosen one. So you need to prove yourself as the chosen one there. Save Riverside, and Riverside's this little town that you live in. And I think the one thing I will say about this game is there's a hell of a lot going on. It's like a very vibrant little town, and all the characters are overly animated. They're all paper drawn animations, but they're all jumping about, and Ruffy himself as you're going, he's always on the move and always on the go, and it's just a lot for the eyes to take in, but not in a bad way. And it's basically when you are the chosen one, you need to go in. What you need to do is find the letters for Riverside. This is how you're going to find it. And it's like Hollywood. It's got a Riverside sign on the edge of the cliffs, but these letters have basically been taken by the evil, and you need to recover them to save Riverside. That's basically the story. And you go into these different challenge chambers to essentially unlock different areas. So you need to solve how you get into these areas, and then solve different puzzles within them to get to the end, which then unlocks the path to where you can go and find that letter. So it is a platformer, really. It's a puzzle platformer at its heart, but it's a very, very good one. The characters are great, the writing's great, it's funny. If anything you see in terms of when you're looking at the trailers and stuff for this, you see him on boulders, running on boulders and stuff, and I've not got far enough in to utilise that stage, but it feels like you're going to progress and upgrade a bit more, and then you've got these different challenges you can do. You get these other puzzles, there's puzzles all around you, there's always something that you don't even necessarily realise is a puzzle. And in the same way as you can have a door that's got an arrow on it pointing up. There's lots of things then in the world that have got arrows pointing down. So if you copy that point down arrow, then paste that onto the door will open and things like that. Okay. So it's as you're kind of going, it makes a bit more sense to you. And then there's all these different hidden little animals. I can't remember they're called etoiles or something. And as you solve puzzles, you collect these, and then there's the different things that you find or solve or collect. You can upgrade different parts of the world and stuff like that. So I think this is one that people will enjoy, but it might be a wee bit much for some people with so much going on in it that you're not necessarily sure where you're supposed to be going or what you're supposed to be doing, and you might just get a bit lost in it. But it's quite good at pinpointing the character to where you're going, and you get this mole that comes around, and you've got different areas that you can basically call him, and he comes and tells you what you're currently trying to do, and he pops up here, there, and everywhere. So that kind of helps you on your way. But pretty solid game, I would say. For what I've played so far, I've enjoyed it.
I feel like Lewis is going to do a likening.
I don't think so. I think it looks great.
No? Yeah.
That is, I could sit and watch this gameplay for ages. It just looks really satisfying and nice. And I like how the characters are paper models, but the environments are all 3D.
Yeah.
It looks very nice. It looks very good.
It does. It looks... yeah, I love the presentation style of it. It's very... Yeah. It's different. It almost kind of reminds me of like Tinykin a little bit, because that was 2D characters on a 3D background, wasn't it? Like, how are the controls? How does it feel?
It feels fine.
What's the
It
game
actually
feel?
feels quite tight. Yeah, I mean, the controls. I think the one thing I would say is it's maybe a little bit difficult to aim what you're copying and pasting onto, so you don't always like get the first time. And once you copy a thing, it like you've got a timer that will time down for your use to like paste it onto the things. It could be one of the challenges, and more like the thing you need to paste is at one end, or copy is at one end, and then what you need to paste it onto the other. So it's like getting from A to B in enough time to then paste it on, and then if it's, you can then get a bit fiddly and trying to control it all to paste it onto. It can be a wee bit frustrating, but actually the controls are fine. And you've got like a double jump with a little bee that you've got with you that then kind of acts as a bit of a glider and stuff like that. But it does control quite tightly. I think probably my biggest thing with this is I did get frustrated at times in terms of not completely sure of where I'm going here. I think although the map there and it gives you like, it's got like the compass at the top with like the directional like pointing you like, here's where you want to go. I didn't necessarily, I ended up going into different dead ends because I thought I was going towards it, but I wasn't actually going towards it. And that was probably my biggest frustration of like around Riverside itself. But once you got to like some of the other areas, it was much better. Like the first one I got to, it was like you need to find 5 of this thing to open up the gateway to this bit and do stuff like that. So yeah, and I mean it's not I think it's what, £14, like less than 15 quid on Twitch. So it's not a full price.
Is that what you've been playing it on?
I have been playing it on the Switch.
On Nintendo Switch 2?
It's Nintendo Switch 2.
My God.
Like where like 95% of my gaming's been at the minute.
It's
The
unfathomable.
new world.
Still coming to terms with this. It looks cool. It reminds me a little bit of Mario Odyssey. A couple of the bits of it.
The 2D bits.
2D, that you can jump in, do the little 2D bits, and then...
Did you notice any of the bits? Did you notice anything about the 2D bits?
The little swirl looks like our logo.
Yes, it absolutely does. So I took a screenshot of that. And
Sue the
it's just like,
bastards.
it's very much it's our game. It's got our logo all over it. So those bits are all over the place, and you need to basically, when you solve the puzzle, that becomes active. So that's how you get in and out of the puzzle.
It's actually scarily similar. Who'd have thought a white circle and a white swirl on a black background would look so similar?
I know. We were so original when we came up with that as well. It's a chameleon's tail, all right, guys. Yeah. I mean, come on. No, I think this looks... it looks lovely, colourful, proper... Yeah. Hopefully, what I hope is... And I know we spoke about this before, but like the indies that come out in the early days of Switch 2, I hope they... I don't think they're going to have the same impact as the indies that came out on Switch 1 in those first few years. But hopefully this will get an audience that's bigger than... because towards the end of the Switch 1, it was like... I don't know, it felt like that had fizzled out a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
So hopefully this one does catch a wave somehow, because it looks cool. And,
I think it deserves an audience. I think the one, and I mean there could be patches with time actually. I know this is release day as you're listening to this, but it's maybe before release day as we're recording it.
It's
there
live.
were a few points. There were a few points where the frames would drop and stuff, so it maybe just needs a wee patch. I mean, it didn't perform badly at all, but it's the first time I've been playing the Switch 2 that I've noticed anything like that. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's in no way like is it detrimental to the game. Like it runs 96% of the time fine, but yeah, it just
That's
hopefully
cool.
it just needs a wee patch or two probably just to get the performance up there because I'm assuming that's just a Switch version of the game running on Switch 2, so it's not a Switch 2 game. Such.
Very cool. Lewis, you've been playing something on your Switch 2 as well, I believe, right? I wasn't sure if this was a game or whether this was just your policy from your single days.
Yeah. Yeah, a bit of both. So I've been playing just very, like I started it earlier on. So it's really early impressions of this. And that is a game called Date Everything. So what it is it's just a strange one, right? So you're sort of dropping the game and you have a job where you answer customer complaints and you've got like a series of options to go back to the people who are moaning, including do you want to go on a date? That's one of the things you can say to them. But quickly, within the first 50 minutes, transpires that AI has come and taken over your job already. You're no longer required. But then you get a message from someone, I forget their name, but some hacker saying, there's going to be a delivery to your house. Go and get it. And you are provided with a pair of rose-tinted glasses. Right. And when you put them on, I wouldn't say they come to life, but the image of a lovely lady appears in front of you, called Skylar. Right. And she explains to you what they are. They're special glasses that make it possible for you to interact in a different way with the inanimate objects around your house.
We've all been there.
We have all been there. So they say, I mean, you can toggle the glasses on, the active effect, using X. But they go, let's just try it out. Let's just try it out on a door. So you're in front of a door because you've just picked up the glasses in the package. You put them on, you hit that back bumper, and then you shoot like love hearts towards the front door. And a man appears. Like a bouncer, which I thought was really clever. A bouncer is the front door. His name is Dorian.
Clever.
Very clever. He's you kind of have a wee chat with him and you become like friends. So there's 3 different options. I think over time you can develop relationships with them. You can either hate them, you can become friends with them, or you can love them. And so basically when you go around the house, I think there are an amount of charges per day. So I think there's like 5 or 6 times you can go and interact with the objects in your house. I don't know if that means if there's one you've already seen, what that does. Like if, for example, you go up and you speak to your bed, and your bed is again a lovely lady. And you get the dialogue options being to say like, I'd like to get to know you more intimately, and then she comes back with, but we already know each other intimately. It's just super cool, super fun. So I don't know if you go back the next day, because I just started day 2 earlier, if I was to go back and speak to the bed, would it take away a charge? But everything, I think there's around 100 different characters, 100 different inanimate objects that are all voice acted. They've all got their own little backstory. They're all really clever. Like I was saying to Alex earlier on that I've been trying to place some of the voice actor names. So again, earlier today, I spoke to a treadmill called Christoph. Big hulking Viking kind of guy. Voiced by Troy Baker.
Wow.
So yeah, some big hitter voice actors in this game. But it just seems super silly. Like the fact that you get these glasses even, and you go around like one of the first people you're asked to speak to is a magnifying glass. The magnifying glass is like she's trying to figure stuff out. She's trying to like investigate. And they'll say to you like, oh, look on your phone. So you get your phone who again is a character you can talk to. But there's also apps on the phone, like one's called Roomies, which is like the rumours of like, oh, if you go here and speak to this, you will meet this person. Also, there's a Datadex, which is like a Pokedex, which is where you find out information about the character. So like that's how I know that Kristoff is played by Troy Baker, because it tells you right there. It's like voiced by, bang, tells you who does the sort of the work on it. But it's really clever. It's really fun. I think for looking at it, folk might think it's a bit weird and seedy, but at the moment I'm not getting that. It just seems like super silly.
Okay.
It's
because that would be, that would be my.
It's not like
my worry for you playing it, knowing how self-conscious you are and how like
I wouldn't play it on a bus
a bit
or a train.
I was going to say,
Not train safe.
So it's not quite. It's not silly enough.
Well,
it's still a bit like people would go, this guy's.
No, I think it is. I think it is
door.
silly enough, but the perception of what others could potentially see might not be, because it's like still like a.
Is it titillating? Is the dialogue titillating at all, or is it just silly?
It's
like if your wife saw you playing it, what would you think?
I'd be like, I'd sling the Switch across the room.
Yeah. What is it? What's the like progression in it then? How do you? What's the end game? You just
marry in a bed.
Yeah, I think you get to know the characters, and you get to
Burning your penis in a treadmill.
Exactly. It's full of puns, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah. Nice. It's not a game I would have said is a Lewis game. So fair play for giving it a go.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you for the code.
Yes, thank you too. No, that's cool. Yeah. I'm kind of interested in that.
But it is really good. It's really well written.
Is it a dating sim? Is that what it is? Because that sounds. I mean,
that's the impression it gives off, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean the name, but like, yeah.
But it's just really silly. Like I'm just reading, because like I said, like I've just started, so like the names of things escape me. But it says here, a mysterious stranger sends a gift. Magical glasses called Dateviators, which make your house come alive and dateable.
Very cool. Any do you think, have you got any real genuine compulsion to carry on with it, do you think?
Yeah, because like see, it is. Yeah. It's really funny. It's really well written and really well voice acted.
Okay.
So it is. I do kind of want to continue with it in my own time, in a dark room with no one watching.
Yeah, when everyone's out. I've been playing a game a bit like that as well, actually. Again on the Switch 2, and this is the 100-line Last Defense Academy, which I was led to believe was a sort of tactical RPG from the makers of Danganronpa, which I think, Lewis, you've mentioned wanting to play before, I'm sure, back in the day, like having a slight.
That one with the bear.
Yeah. And this has got a mascot in it that's like wisecracking, kind of an asshole, says some really off the wall stuff. But it is, I would say it's like 5% tactics, turn-based tactics, and 95% visual novel.
Oh, really?
Which I'm not against, because to be honest, Persona is a bit like that. I'd say it's like, I don't know, 80% just reading stuff. Which is why initially, when I first played Persona 5, I dropped off it, because it was just basically reading. And that's what this is. And I've really struggled to get through the first 5 hours, maybe, because I just keep falling asleep, because it is just
reading.
So much reading. And the dialogue is great.
No voice acted?
There is a bit of voice acting, but I would say the bulk of it is reading, and it's good. Like the story is great. So you're basically playing as this kid who's kind of bored of his life. Hey, he's a teenager. This is set in a high school. It's hitting all those tropes. But you're basically living in like a part of Tokyo, or it's basically covered in a dome, like Truman Show style, covered in a dome. You don't really know why. Every now and then there's an air raid siren and everyone has to get underground. You don't really know why. And then one time when you come back out, all hell has broken loose and there's these aliens invading and stuff. And then this weird creature says, right, stab yourself through the heart with this magic sword. And you kind of reluctantly do. And it's all very, very sort of persona coded in that respect as well. And I imagine Danganronpa games are a bit like that. And it all just kind of, you've no real idea what's going on. You get a couple of battles in the first several hours, and they seem cool, but there's just so much chatting in between that I'm really struggling. I know I would like this game, but this is one of those where it's like, right, I need to force myself through the first 10 hours of I think it's like 30 hours.
Oh, wow.
To play through, but then there's like 100 endings, so it's like a 150-hour game in total.
That's too much. That's too much.
It's cool. It is too much, and I would only play through once, I'm sure. But it's really cool. Like, I love everything about it. I love the presentation. As I said, the writing's quite funny, and again, not a train game for sure. It's quite risque in some points, but it's it's definitely a game that I'm sure I will enjoy, but I am very much, as I said last week, struggling with the Switch in handheld generally, and that coupled with all of the readings, just like, I'm not quite pushing through it. I haven't had one big long session on it yet, as I would normally have with a game like this, so interested to see if I can push through that, because I think there's enough there that I would like it, but at the moment I'm like fighting to play it rather than like itching to play it, if you know what I
mean. Are you almost of that mindset that you would consider playing it on the Steam Deck rather than on the Switch?
Potentially. Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, potentially. I think it would be more comfortable physically to do that, but still the same. I think the biggest problem is it's just there's a lot of unloading the plot and stuff to start with, and I just want to get stuck into the fun stuff. And it's got all like the life simmy bits like Persona or Fire Emblem, where you're like, oh, now you can walk around the school and do different activities and level up and stuff like that. But yeah, there's definitely something there.
Is there cross saves on it? If you're going to move,
I doubt it. I doubt it. But yeah, it's a cool one, but not quite grabbing me the way I hoped just yet.
Can I just say, terrible font
for the actual title. Oh yeah, it's barely legible.
I didn't know that's what it said.
Yeah, and a terrible name, really. The 100-line Last Defense Academy. Just call it Last Defense Academy. That is what you're part of. You're defending this school. You're called the Last Defense Academy. Just call it that.
Yeah.
But they've over-egged the pudding somewhat.
Indeed.
As people like to do these days.
Indeed. But speaking of a game with a much more sensible and snappy title, Alex, you've also been playing Kunitsu-Gami Path of the Goddess.
Yeah, snappiest of titles right there, isn't it? But that's a game you loved, Ben. Well, it's loved a bit strong, but you very much liked this game.
Fucking loved it.
And I've been meaning to play it forever. And I mean, what better place to play it than on the Switch too? Like, it's... And yeah, I can completely understand why you love this, Ben. Like, it's weird, but in a good way. Like when you've got this wee woman, like with our wee whatever she's got dancing about at the end, and you need to get her from A to B without basically dying, and collecting all these wee things around about it, and planning your attacks and all that stuff. And like, it's quite cool. And I quite like, and I don't know if this is how it works all the way through, but I've only played the first 3 areas and then the first 3 bosses. And I like how you do the area, you're going to get to the boss, you upgrade bits and pieces of the area to restore it all, but then the boss fight is separate. So like you're not just getting to the end and then you've got a boss fight. I like how it's split. But yeah, just so cool. Like, good. It plays really nicely on the Switch too. I haven't actually ever launched it on a console to compare it. I don't think it holds up to probably what the consoles look like. But the cutscenes and stuff are good, and then the actual gameplay is fine. When they say it looks amazing or anything, but I don't know how good it looks on any other console. But yeah, this is a game I'm hopefully going to finish, but I'm not the best at it. Like, it's taken me a few attempts at some of the bosses, like particularly the third one, I think, like the big one that's like a big centipede, I think it was.
Yeah.
And you had to,
it's not easy, is it? Like, it is.
No, it's definitely
tricky.
not easy.
Yeah.
Because it's basically working out the strategy of what jobs you want to give like your villagers to basically attack on your behalf at the same time, and then what tools are like different little
traps
you
and
want
stuff that you can set in the world and things like that, and barriers and stuff.
Yeah, but it just gets more and more complex as you go along as well, so you get more things to think about and different. Because I think the last world that I was doing basically was when you weren't there to fight, so you had to plan everything around you because you'd basically put this mask put on you, which meant that you couldn't fight yourself to protect her. You had to essentially kill enough stuff without you there to like restore you. But yeah, like, just love how Capcom feel that they're in a place that they can just make shit like this now.
That's
and
good,
it's still
though.
good. Like, this is what you want. It's this kind of weird shit that makes this industry what it is. Like, you don't just want 27 Black Ops games or all that shit. You want something that's a wee bit different, and just it's just nice seeing these people taking a risk, like, and feeling confident to take that risk. And I think that's where Game Pass.
Yeah, I just think
people give Game Pass a lot of shit, but I think it gives developers at least some sort of guaranteed income to go and say, well, if we can get this and make it something a bit different, and Microsoft will fund it or pay it for Game Pass, then you at least got a bit of security into what you're doing here.
it makes AA games viable, doesn't it? Because it's not like, you're not going, right, our entire future as a studio depends on this.
Yeah.
We've been making it for 8 years, and if it doesn't work, we're fucked. Which actually, funnily enough, Last Defense Academy, that's their whole story behind it. It's like, if this game isn't successful, they're fucked. They've said that in the whole release to it. Like, they've taken out loans against it and everything, and yeah, if it doesn't do well. So go and buy that. But yeah, this... I think it's a really good game. I feel like it's already been forgotten in the Switch 2 launch, but it's like a perfect one for that. Like, it's such a cool and different game. And if you've played Mario Kart World and you're kind of itching for something new to get stuck into, I think so many people slept on it last year. Like, I'm pleased you've picked it up, Alex.
It's also very easy to pick up and put down. Like, it's a good game for maybe if you're on, like, I was playing it on the train, and it's a good game, like, basically from the length of my train journey, I was doing like one world and one boss. Like, so it's quite, and because of how it's structured, you can just pick it up and say, I'll do one level and then put it back down. It's not like there's a story to it, but I don't feel like you're ever really going to miss much of the story. I don't think that's really what it's about. It's very good for one that you can just pick up and put down to. Or if you're just wanting like something, maybe you're playing like a huge game and you maybe just want to drop into something else and like play it over time. I think it's ideal for that too.
That's cool. Oh, good on you.
Very good.
Good on you for giving it a chance.
The new me.
I hope you do finish it because, particularly some of the bosses towards the end are really cool. And
Certainly
I think
intend
the
to
whole
keep trying.
art direction and the design of those creatures and stuff is, that just gets more crazy as you go. So very, very cool. Very cool. Well, look at us. Is that a full? That's all Switch 2, isn't it?
Aye.
All those games. Jesus.
Might as well
Crazy.
call ourselves like Switch 2 Veil or something.
We can workshop that. I mean, probably what we can do now, because this is the last episode of June, isn't it? I think.
Can't be. It can't
I think
be.
it is. The
Terrifying.
year is rattling on. We're halfway through. So what we did at the end of March is we looked back on that quarter and games that came out, games we missed, stuff like that. So let's do that again.
Let's do that.
Let's have a look back through Q2 25 and see. And I think all the games we've spoken about have come out during that time period. One that I don't think I really spoke about with you guys, but I've played a little bit of, is Monster Train 2, which again kind of went under the radar. I really liked the first one, but I didn't play a great deal of it. And it's kind of happened again with Monster Train 2. Like, I play it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool. This is Slay the Spire, but with a few extra sort of bells and whistles thrown in, a bit more to think about. It's cool. And then I just, done a few runs, finished a few runs, and then plonked it down again. I don't know why, but it's very good.
It had reviewed really well.
Yeah, I think it's an 88 on OpenCritic, isn't it? If my fantasy team is anything to go by. I believe they all laughed. But yeah, that's a good one. What about you guys? What have been your little highlights of the last few months?
I think what Pipistrello and Cursed-Yo-Yo, which you talked quite a lot about, like I really liked that. Thought that was just an exceptional game. Such a step up from like Dodgeball Academia.
Yeah.
Just that's a game I would recommend everybody tries. Well, everyone that likes the kind of Metroidvania type game. It's
I really want to play that.
very, very, very good.
Because we keep calling it a Yo-Yo-Vania and a Metroidvania, but every time I see it, it's a Zelda-like.
Yeah, as essentially Zelda-like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and there's a Zelda and Metroid are very similar anyway, in terms of like you need to find X item to unlock the next area kind of thing. But yeah, it does look cool. I think that's gonna have to go on my list of ones to play, and presumably yours as well, Lewis. It looks like that's a you game.
Yeah. I've not played any games that have released this year. Not finished them anyway. No. All the games I've played have been prior to this year. Nine Souls, Indiana
lest
Jones.
we forget the bet.
The bet.
We weren't allowed to buy new games. So
Exactly. So my list of
big part to
games
play.
that I want to play is extensive.
Mahusive.
I reckon for me, top of that is Expedition 33. I really want it. I want it on the Switch too.
I'm surprised it hasn't been announced for Switch 2 yet.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen nothing that I've played on the Switch 2 so far makes me think it couldn't run on the Switch 2. Like it, because it is it looks incredible, but it is like very stylized and stuff. I don't see why it wouldn't run, but it is. Yeah, I mean, that's the absolute cream of the crop for the year. 100%. Like I would be frankly amazed if anything comes close to it for Game of the Year. For not only for me, but like just in general.
Yeah,
It is that good.
I don't think there's going to be anything that comes along that's going to get anywhere near it this year.
No. I mean, obviously Blueprints came out in April.
Oh, yeah.
And people were pretty high on that at the time. But I feel like Expedition 33 has now just eclipsed that completely.
I don't understand
I don't think
the hype.
No, I think we're all of a similar mind when it comes to
Yeah.
blueprints. Like, I think out of the three of us, I'm probably the highest on it, and even I'm not that asked.
It was a good game, but that was what it was. It was a good game.
It'll be in my top 10 maybe for the year, but pretty low down that list, I would imagine.
Another one that might be in your top 10, Ben, from this quarter, I would think.
Star Vaders?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. I normally don't count games that I haven't like finished, but it's different for a roguelike, isn't it? It's like I've finished some runs.
Yeah.
Does that count? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've seen enough of it to know, that's
Some
easily
these
one of the best
can't
games
really
I've played.
finish. Like, they just keep going.
Exactly. But yeah, that would definitely be up there. I guess the one I've played a few levels of it. I don't know if you guys have dabbled at all in Doom: The Dark Ages.
Again, I played the first couple, but that was kind of it.
That's totally passed me by. Like, I didn't even really see much online for it.
No.
It's come out to zero fanfare as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's an odd one. I mean, it reviewed pretty well, but
Is it on Game
yeah,
Pass?
I played a few levels and was like, yeah, it is Game Pass. Yeah, I think I played the first 3 levels, 3 or 4, and I got to a level that's where you're basically controlling a mech. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Makes me just want to play Titanfall or, Armored Core or something. But like, not really that bothered about playing Doom.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, maybe I just got to be in the mood for it. But yeah. Anything else, Lewis, that you think that's come out that you think you might want to go back to?
Well, yeah, like I was saying, like Pipistrello. That's one I want to get to. You're saying. I'm not sure. Like, I've obviously not played Citizen Sleeper 2 either. Yeah, I think some of there are a good few games that from this year that I want to get around to playing, but I've kind of just been waiting for the Switch 2 to come out, to be honest.
Yeah, I've been in a holding pattern for quite a while.
There's a long period this year where I was like, I just can't be bothered. And I'm happy playing the games that I know. Or like smaller things so that I can kind of jump in and out of.
Yeah.
I found myself playing Grindstone. Crazy days. But I'm looking forward to the second half of the year and what potentially might be coming out for the Switch 2.
Yeah, I mean, Alex, I always feel like you've got the best handle on like the release schedule and stuff. But what have we got to look forward to?
I mean, obviously the first thing in Horizon's Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yeah.
Like, so that's kind of first out of the blocks when you talk Switch 2. So we're only, 2.5 weeks from that? Is it the 17th?
Yeah,
right, yeah.
something
So
like
maybe
that.
about 3 weeks. It's not far away. And then you've got the Mario Party upgrade for Switch 2 this month as well. So, I mean, that's something. You've got Tony Hawk coming to Switch 2. And then the other one, we've got the Patapon 1 and 2 replay coming out quite soon as well, which I quite fancy.
Yeah, I've never played
Not necessarily Switch 2, but it's coming to Switch, so it counts. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we're in a funny little position just now that start of the year felt like there was loads of games and loads of good stuff all the time. And then I feel like we've kind of hit a bit of a slump, even with the Switch 2 arriving. And I don't know if it's because this doesn't feel like there's a lot of Switch 2 games, so you feel like it's a slump that's not actually a slump.
I don't know, maybe you're right,
It's a
mate. You
funny
know
one.
how everyone always says, everyone's cleared their schedule because GTA 6 is coming out on X date. Maybe it was the same for Switch 2. Maybe everyone just went, all right, let's leave it a few weeks either side of that because that's going to take up the entire timeline and everyone's attention. I think there's probably a bit of truth to that. obviously, we mentioned it last week as well, but Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is coming out
Yeah.
July 31st, I think. And I, having played that demo, I'm now very much looking forward to that as well.
And then there's that weird Pac-Man game.
Oh, the dark...
The dark Shadow
Metroidvania
Labyrinth.
one.
Yeah, so that's coming in 17th of July as well. So I'm quite intrigued by that. There's just something about it that I'm a bit like, kind of want to try that. That is a Switch 2. That is a Switch 2 release. So,
yeah. Similar to Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is Shinobi Art of Vengeance, which is coming on August 29th. I don't know. It's so weird that we're getting two throwback Ninja 2D games like a month apart.
Close together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
And they're both in my fantasy team. And I'm not sure whether to drop one or... Because they both look cool. It's... Yeah, this is a tricky one.
I used to love
Gears of
Shinobi back in the day.
Yeah. Because you were a Sega boy, weren't you?
Yeah, Shinobi... what was the second one called? Dragon Ninja or something like that?
No idea. Shinobi 2.
I don't know if I'm getting that mixed up with a song by a band that have been long cancelled. Let me double check that.
God. Yeah. Double check that.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid Delta in August as well, which is probably your big one.
Yeah. Anyone... Are any of us bothered about that?
There's a little bit of me that feels like I need to play a Metal Gear Solid game. And I feel like if I'm going to play one, it's probably going to be that.
Yeah.
But that's as much as I'm interested in it. It's not like... I feel like when they showed that at the State of Play a few weeks ago, it looked shite. I thought it looked like utter dog shit. I remember putting a message in the chat. I'm like, I don't understand why anybody's looking forward to this. I just did not get it from that showing of it. But I don't know. It's not one. It just doesn't appeal to me really. But I feel like I kind of want to try it.
There's a good few Mafia: The Old Country feels like a game from yesteryear as well. And then obviously Gears of War Reloaded is coming out in August too.
Yeah.
Which is I don't know, the third time Gears of War has been remade.
First time on
maybe?
PlayStation though.
Yeah. That's going to be weird playing it on PlayStation.
Yeah.
But I love that game. I think the first Gears of War is really good. So
it's not a remake as such. They've said that. It's just basically there's no new assets or anything in it. It's just a bit of a polish and a bit of an upgrade.
Is it so it's not a full price game then on PlayStation?
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure how much it is, but I don't think it's certainly not an £80 game.
We'll let it off then. And then in September, Lewis, the big one for you, Daemon X Machina, Titanic Scion.
I cannot wait.
You can't.
I'm going to be glued to that.
Another weird 2D game in September as well, and that Terminator one.
Oh yeah,
Terminator, Fate.
Yeah, that's odd. We're finally getting Deep Rock Galactic Survivor going 1.0 in September as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping. I know it's just saying PC for that at the minute, but I'm kind of hoping with 1.0 you might see it come to console.
Any consoles you're hoping for in particular?
Xbox.
Put
plenty of dust on it by that point. No, I'd quite like on a Switch with Benjamin. I know that's what you were asking.
Anyone else hate the new Alex? Final Fantasy Tactics is coming out in September as well.
Looks like dog shit. Even people that like Final Fantasy have said it looks like dog shit.
You put the words Final Fantasy and the words Tactics together in a game. I'm gonna lap it up.
I mean, I've got a big contender for my Fantasy Critic coming out in September.
Have you?
That's Baby Steps.
You sure?
It's got potential. It has potential.
It definitely has potential to be dog shit.
We'll see.
Yeah, a bit could go either way.
Good.
Well, one leg could go one way, one could go the other. You never know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? The
Hey, can I
dialogue
just-
looks funny. I'll give it that.
Yeah, it just reminds me of Octodad, the Dadliest Catch.
Yeah.
I'd like to issue an apology.
Okay.
The Shinobi game on... in fact, it's not even this. I think it is called Shinobi 2, Super Shinobi or something. But what I came out with earlier, Shinobi versus Dragon Ninja, is a song from the Lost Prophets.
Oh no!
At least you knew they were cancelled.
Are we now cancelled by proxy? Oh, we've had a good run.
Am I right?
Good.
I'm sure Shinobi 2 had a name, like a subtitle. That's irritating.
And it was me trying just to be a gobshite.
Yeah, and you're probably right. Shinobi 2.
I remember
so-
Shinobi 3 was just Shinobi 3.
It must have been Shinobi
Revenge
2.
of Shinobi. That sounds like a
Okay.
sequel. Anyway, I digress.
Anyway, there's also a couple of others just off the top of my head. We haven't mentioned Death Stranding 2 yet. Obviously, some people have started playing it already at the time we're recording this, but we
Out today.
are not. Yeah, we are not one of those fortunate people. But yeah, interested to see how that goes down.
It's just won me fantasy critic.
Maybe you've clawed back into first place, Alex.
I think I will have by that point.
I think you probably will have, yeah. That's a safe prediction. Persona 5 The Phantom X as well. Looks pretty cool. I've no idea what it is. I think
I don't even
apparently
know.
it was like, it's been out in China and, I don't know, like Korea and some other countries for like a few years, but it's only just coming out everywhere else or
I
something
even
like
should
that.
have heard of it.
Yeah, it's odd one. I thought it was like a side story of Persona 5 or something, but I'll be keenly watching it. And Rematch as well. I'm interested to see how that goes down when that comes out. No, don't
I'm
fancy
not
that?
I'm not holding high hopes, but the one that's just come out that I want to get to is The Altars. It seems really
Yeah.
weird and really cool and has scored
Yeah.
pretty well.
I'm amazed you haven't played that already. I feel like that's such a nailed on Alex game.
Not Switch 2.
There we go. There we go.
Rematch is the Rocket League, but
Sifu
people.
one.
Sifu.
Yes, that's the one. Yes.
Yeah.
Slow clap.
Which I
Sifu, yes, low clap.
yeah. Yeah, I feel like that could be fun if the three of us played it together. Just on that, while we mentioned games that we've played together, Elden Ring Night Rain, let's not forget that.
Oof.
That came out this quarter,
Yes, it did.
and we had a lovely time.
It was
And Lewis and I went back to it to play, not together, obviously, but
please.
I've
Of course
enjoyed
not.
it.
I mean, not that we would just play games together again. I mean, once in a blue moon.
Hey, I played Mario Kart. Mario Kart World is another one. But yeah, I think that is quite cool. I think if I carry on playing it, it could even break into my top 10 this year.
Oh, wow.
I think it's definitely got something about it, and it is fun to be back in that world
Yes.
with that gameplay. The fact that my son has got really into it has helped as well, because I'm like watching him play it thinking, oh, I quite fancy having a go at that boss kind of thing. But then I've done that classic thing of beating the first boss after like 6 attempts, and then I've just gone, cool, I've done that now. And even though it's unlocked loads more bosses, I'm like, yeah, I've proven I can beat a boss. That's all I need to do.
I've not beat that one yet. I've come close. But maybe I need you get a guiding hand, Ben.
I can.
What
I
character
can
are
help
you
you
using?
like I did with the fire giant.
Yeah.
The first one, like the main guy. I'd been using ranged characters before that, mainly the ranger. But I just thought, all right, I'll give this one a go. And literally my first attempt with the sword, it was
Doesn't make me feel any better. That's who I've been using.
That must be very galling for you. Good. Well, I'm glad I remembered to bring that up.
You can see it in his face.
Excellent. All right. Well, let's move on to something that's bound to cheer both of you up.
God.
Let's play a cheeky game of Guess the Outro. Okay. Indeed. You know the drill by now, guys.
God.
I'm going to give you 3 clues. You get 10 guesses to guess the game I'm thinking of that will form the outro music for this very episode. Okay. Ready? Here's a clue. 60 frames per second.
Oh, get stuffed. What's the actual clue?
The actual clue is built-in Unity. No. The actual clue is it's an indie.
What was that? Unity or Schmunity? Is that what it is?
Unity or Schmunity or Gentlemen Know Your Engines. That's such a great name for a quiz.
Yeah, that was it.
But you just overruled me and went Unity or Schmunity. Anyway, your clue this time around. It's an indie.
It's an indie.
Yep.
Is it part of a series?
Oh, straight in there. I haven't even unlocked my Remarkable 2. No, not part of a series. Question on 2.
I thought I would ask a question.
Character name and title.
Reasonable question. Oh, do you know what? Come back to me with that one. Ask another question.
No.
Preparation.
We need to have informed information to then ask the next question, so we don't waste one.
All right, talk amongst yourselves, and I'll look it up.
Why do you think? Why don't you should know this? You should know all the information.
Why would you need to look it up? Because obviously, maybe not. It's something that he's not sure if the character's called the thing or not, so it could be sounds like a character's name.
Yeah. Potential. Excuse me. Little mini burp there. Waiting for pen.
That's how you choose to fill the dead air while I'm researching.
Just rift.
That's how the quality dips off when I just
Even you, that's exactly what happens.
So the yes, character name and title.
It is.
The character name is entitled. Is it a platformer? Is it a tactics game? Is it mixing it up a little bit? Or is it RPG?
No. None of them. Question 4.
Do you play as a character whose name is in the title?
Yes. Great question.
Nice question.
Or is it a waste of a question? I can't decide.
Well, I mean, you could just have a character in the game you don't play, like Zelda.
Does this game have a
Question 5.
Unique mechanic?
Yeah.
Right, clue.
Okay. Okay. Clue number 2. At least one of us has played it to completion.
I actually have an idea in my head at this point, Alex.
Wow.
Oh, do you?
I can't remember what it's called.
Is that an idea then?
Is it Yoko's Island Express is what I'm thinking of. Kind of unique mechanic in there. Pinball. Character name and title. Indie.
We've asked it a lot, mentioned it a lot, so someone might have actually wrote it in. Is Yoko the pinball?
The wee dung beetle. I think Ben's
Aye.
completed this game.
I haven't completed it, but I've played it.
I've played it as well. I've got it physically, in fact, I think. Potentially. Right.
How could we narrow that down then?
Is the mechanic in this game pinball?
No, not pinball.
It's not Yoko's Island.
It's not Yoku's Island.
Is that what Yoku? Okay, thank you.
Yoku, yeah, no problem.
You have completed that, right?
I have finished that, yeah.
There we go.
I have.
Think it could be something like Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. It would be a puzzle game. Ben's finished that. Or did he finish that? I'm sure he did. I'm assuming Lorelei is like character. But maybe it's not. But
what was that? Fifth clue again at 5?
Clue number
at least one.
that one. At least one of us has played it to completion.
We ask if it's a puzzle game. It's a puzzle game, Ben.
No, it is not a puzzle game.
Right, so it's not that then.
And for the record, I haven't finished Lorelei and the Laser Eyes.
Okay. I wasn't sure. That's why. Thought you had.
Question 8. I think you guys are just, and I'm not meaning to add any extra pressure, I think you've lost the last 2 rounds of this, by the way.
Well, we're up anyway, aren't we?
Ben, we know.
It's been a while since you've lost 3 in a row.
Have we ever lost 3 in a row?
I mean, again, I can look that up.
I don't think that. I don't think we have. Well, that's even more added pressure.
Don't think we have. Right.
But platform exclusive?
Is there
Would it
many
help
indies
us?
now that now after, because we always say that, thinking about it, there aren't many that are maybe do platform exclusive at launch, because they all end up going multi-platform anyway, don't they?
I don't know if I would remember which ones we are.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a wasted question. But I mean, I don't think it really matters.
Nah, maybe not.
Work out who's played it to completion.
Oh yes,
What we just ask.
yeah. Is it Ben? Have you completed this game?
Yes, I have completed this game.
And what was the clue again? At least one of us.
What,
or one
at
of
least
us
one
has.
of
One of us has finished it,
One
basically.
of us was
At
Ben.
least one of us.
That's it. Kind of underhanded putting a game that he's finished.
He wasn't quite sure if the character name was in the title. I think it was something like Chance of Sinar.
Just to come back on the point about your losing streak.
Yes.
There's been 2 occasions where you have lost 3 rounds in a row.
Really?
From episodes 19 to 21. So for fans of episode titles, that's Sexy Young Smugglers, Seamus McNally as My Uncle, and The Coolies 2024.
Okay.
You lost all 3 of those. And then again, you lost 3 in a row, episodes 26, 27, and 28. Billionaire Baddies Club, Big Number 2, and Bobby Knocker. Who can forget those episodes?
Classic.
Classics, every
It
single
was the
one of
3
them.
Bs.
Yep.
I was thinking of
Anyway,
Bowling
question
and
9.
Barry's Club when seen that ball game, ball pit.
Ball pit. Bollocks pit.
Bollocks bit. Episode title. Good work. Right.
I don't know how we narrow this down. Because I don't think Sinar's the name of a character, is it?
Oh dear. Sorry.
Bollocks.
Yeah. I don't know how. Can we Google chances in R just to check something?
No.
Google. No Googling.
Do you want me to recap? Because I feel like we've had some distractions. Do you want me to recap what your questions were so far? Okay, so it is not part of a series. character name is in title. Not a platformer, tactics game, or RPG. You do play as the character that's name is in title. There is a unique mechanic. It's not pinball. It's not a puzzle. And I am the one who's finished it. And now you're on question 9.
Did you play that, Alex?
What?
Chance
Chance
of
Scenario.
Yeah.
I've played bits of it. I haven't finished it.
What's the mechanic?
Can't.
Is it just chanting?
No, it's like code breaking almost, essentially. I wouldn't say there's a unique mechanic in it. It's more just a puzzle game.
We could just ask was it console exclusive? Because is that multi-platform now? I'm sure it's on Game Pass.
I don't know if it's on Game Pass, but certainly on multiple
Is it?
platforms now.
I'm not sure if it's going to help asking if it was console exclusive.
It's not a puzzle game anyway.
I don't think it will help asking if it's console exclusive.
And it wasn't a platformer, was that one of the ones you asked?
Yeah.
Is it
Did we ask if it's a part of a series? It's not part of a series.
not part of the series, no.
Standalone.
What about if the developers made more than one game but not in a series?
Yeah, that's good.
Have the developers released more than one game but not part of the series?
I'll look it up. Jesus Christ. Oh, just know everything.
Be
Let's have a
prepared,
look.
as the scouts would say.
Yeah.
Be prepared.
So I mean, it's not anything like going back to like Gris.
No.
And
This is their only game, as far as I can tell.
The only game?
Yeah.
it'd be like Loop Hero or something. Is that a clicker or an idle game? Is that is a character called Loop or Hero?
The hero. Yeah, I think we should go with that.
Is it an idle game?
No, it's not an idle game.
Is that 10?
That is 10. You're on 10, by the way.
Yeah.
You've got one more question to
Oh,
ask.
okay.
Oh, I thought that was his.
And I'll give you a
That-
bonus. I'll give you a little bonus clue
Oh,
as a
thank
little
you.
steer because you're fucking miles away. It's not a platformer. There are platforming elements, though. I will say that. It's not a platformer. But there are platforming elements. There's even puzzly elements. But it's not a puzzle game, and it's not a platformer.
Have we spoke about this on... I think I should ask that, Alex, if we spoke about it on...
Yeah.
Not necessarily this episode, but like this podcast.
Have we ever discussed this
Have
game?
we ever discussed this game?
Please go and scrub through this.
I'll be back in
48
9
episodes.
weeks. I don't think we have discussed it on The Mimic's Veil.
Right.
But potentially on previous guys.
That does not help.
No,
So-
but that's 10 questions.
That is.
That is 10. Okay. Your final clue is a quote from Eurogamer. Blank has some of the best level design I've ever played in an arcade-style game. The adrenaline I felt when I squeezed in that first-place time within less than a millisecond wasn't like any I'd felt before.
Any idea?
I was thinking Neon White, but it's not a character name, is it? And I don't think that's the only game, because that not the guy that made Donut County. So
I
not
don't know.
that. And Ben did finish that. So an arcade style game. Can you read that quote again, please, Ben?
Blank has some of the best level design I've ever played in an arcade-style game. The adrenaline I felt when I squeezed in that first place time within less than a millisecond wasn't like any I'd felt before.
Have we done Horizon Chase Turbo?
That certainly we've talked about that before. It's certainly been in conversation. So that would take out the last question. Yeah, I've talked about it.
Yeah, we have, haven't we? I think it was even for this.
Nice. Yeah.
Hmm.
But no, like neon white feels like that kind of thing. I'm trying to think of other things that it can't be Lonely Mountains. I was thinking in Lonely Mountains Downhill, but that's not a character. And then even that's not their only game that's part of a series, so
Yeah.
you're not going to go with that. But it's something like that kind of thing, where you're basically just trying to get the best time on runs. I can't for the life of me think.
Is it timed? Oh, I was saying Downwell. That's not the name of the character, is it? I don't know if it's timed. Sorry, grasping at straws. You just want to guess that, or do
There's a
you?
lot riding on this.
What are you thinking?
I was almost going to say I'm firing blanks. I'm drawing a blank here.
What a way to admit it. What's okay? And do you want to have a guess? This is to stop another 3 losses in a row. So this
Can we get
quite
another
important.
clue?
Yeah, he was.
You've had enough. You've had enough clues. I gave you a bonus
We
clue.
haven't
already.
had enough.
Sound effect. Something like that.
Gave you a bonus clue already.
You're really.
You're
I
close.
mean, it can't be
I would say
neon
you're-
white,
you're
but
cl-
like
you're
neon
close.
white's thing that's
Close with neon
comes to
white.
my head. Well, I don't know if it's with that, but I can't think of anything else like that. Even though we probably talked about games like that.
Hmm. I've got nothing.
We just go with neon white, and
Yeah.
it's not neon white, but we'll say neon white.
Final answer.
Yeah.
It's neon white.
Oh,
that-
yes. Well done.
Clues were wrong then.
No, they were 100% accurate because I looked them all up, you bastards.
But wasn't it the same guy that did Donut County that did neon white?
So Ben Esposito was involved in it, but the actual company that made Neon White, that's the only game they've ever developed. So Angel Matrix was the name of the developer.
Well done, Alex.
So well done. Good deduction, Alex. Not bad at all. And you stopped the rot.
We stopped the rot, exactly.
That's the main thing. Yeah, it's a tricky one because obviously it's a first-person shooter, but it's like you're doing some 3D platforming. There's kind of puzzly elements now and again.
What's the character called?
The character is cool. I had to look this up because I thought, oh, actually, yeah, the neon white is the main character.
Ah, right, okay.
So yeah, you could have come a cropper, but you did not. So well done. And the unique mechanic is like you're collecting cards, and then the cards are your weapons, basically, that you can. So yeah, that was good. Well done.
Well done.
I think that that final clue was a good
Yeah,
good
that
steer, wasn't it, in
kind
the right
of.
direction.
But that's what I already had in my head, and I'm not sure why. But I did.
Good.
So yeah, please.
Well done. And it's a cool, it's a cool soundtrack as well. So like fitting in with that post Dreamcast look and feel of the game, the soundtrack is very of that era as well, sort of drum and bassy. It's it's a good one. All by Machine Girl, and the one I chose this. This is just me being selfish because I like that game and I like the soundtrack. But the song we're going to listen to is called House of Cards. And if you're feeling sleepy, it will sort you out because it is adrenaline pumping, much like the rest of the game. Very cool.
I thought you meant it would put you over the edge.
No, it'll wake you
Send you
right
off.
back up. Yeah. But yes, we will send you off with House of Cards from Neon White.